This is every bottle of Jack Daniels that I own. And today, we're going to be doing what I'm calling the Jack Daniels Gauntlet, going from 80 proof to 127 proof, because I want to. So I'm actually going to be leaving these two out of this, just because a bonded rye and triple mash don't really make sense for this. Although I will say, I love this new series that Jack Daniels is doing. These three right here are phenomenal bottles just off the bat. The bonded rye, I'm not a huge rye guy, but this Jack Daniels rye has been phenomenal. I sip this quite frequently. I haven't used it for anything else than just sipping it, but I think it's lovely. These two came out originally, the bonded and the triple mash, they came out at the same time. I was able to get them both right when they came out. It's harder to find the triple mash, which it's good, but I guess since this is just totally different, everyone gravitated towards this. You've been able to buy the bottled and bond in duty-free shops at the airport or things like that for quite a long time. So really cool that it's finally a consistent release here in America. I thought I had a regular old bottle of Jack Daniels laying around when I planned this out, but for some reason I don't. So subbing in for the 80 proof Jack Daniels is actually going to be the Gentleman Jack, which is really good. I don't like using this word to describe whiskey because I don't think it adds a ton to the actual flavors and everything that you can get, but it really is just a smoother Jack Daniels. What I do have randomly enough is this, the Jack Daniels No. 7 Legacy Edition. This was a limited release they did. It's kind of like a heritage collection. Next up, coming in at 90 proof, is Jack Daniels Sinatra Select. It was one of the first kind of unique bottles that I really found. I was just starting to get into bourbon collecting, and I saw this in a store. I had recently just won like a football bet. I had some extra money in my pocket that I was very willing to spend, and this caught my eye. I'm a huge Frank Sinatra fan, and it really is just a very cool bottle, a very cool story. As everyone knows, that Jack Daniels will never let you forget. Frank Sinatra was a big fan and just a big promoter of their whiskey. It actually is made slightly differently than regular old No. 7. Take the charred barrel and they scar it on the inside, so you get these grooves, allowing the whiskey to sit inside there and pick up a little more oaky flavor. And then, of course, the charcoal filtering kind of mellows it all out. It really is one of my favorites. This is not my first bottle of it, and I'm pretty sure I have another full bottle of it laying around here somewhere. I already touched on the bottle and bond a little bit. I'm a sucker for bottled and bond products. I will buy almost anything bottled and bond. I think 100 proof is a great proof to really start getting some tasting notes and really dive in and start experiencing some more things with the whiskey. And then we get over here to the big boy. This is the Jack Daniels single barrel proof. This one's at 127 proof. I was able to find this for $55, which, looking back on it, is an absolute steal. The only thing I wish I dug around and found a higher proof bottle of it. 127 proof is high, but apparently, and I haven't had them, the 130, 131 proofs are just that much better than this. So if you ever find one, especially for a good price, definitely take a look and make sure you pick up the highest proof you can get. Jack Daniels is just that brand that I think everyone associates with college and cheap drinking and Jack and Coke, but they really do put out some good stuff. As the whiskey bourbon market is expanding and gaining more popularity here, they are ones that are definitely experimenting. From their Coy Hill lineup that I can never find, from their twice-barreled rye. They have a lot of things that they make that are very good and respectable way outside the old No. 7 that everyone knows. Let's kick it off with the lowest proof one. I'm probably not going to be able to finish this whole Glencairn. I mean, it's just smooth. There's no other way to describe it. It's just that second charcoal run-through really adds something to this. Is it knock your socks off with flavor? God, no. Ooh, that's got peanut butter. There's a lot of peanut butter on that, which is very nice. I haven't got that before. Gentleman Jack to me is one that is just consistent. I know wherever I am, there's a good chance they're going to have it. It's one that it tastes good neat, it tastes good mixed, it tastes good any way you have it. But yeah, a great place to start. I know it's not the best way to do this, but I like to cleanse my palate afterwards. So I'll just take a water bottle and fill up the Glencairn with some water. Now you have a clean Glencairn and a clean palate. Perfect. I hope no one gets too mad at me for not using regular Jack Daniels, but to me it tastes just like regular Jack Daniels. I would never sip this. It has less flavor than the Gentleman Jack. It's got that banana note that you always get with Jack Daniels. It's good. It's good. Jack Daniels is good. But this, nothing that's going to blow you away. I really just bought it because the bottle was cool and it said Legacy Edition, and I like Jack Daniels, so I saw it as kind of a collector item. As I start getting up into the higher proofs, you're going to notice I'm going to pour less and less. Because it's only 7 o'clock here and I still have to cook dinner. Next up, one of my favorites, Jack Daniel's Sinatra Select. It's a hefty bottle, and I am a cork fanatic. And this may be my favorite cork of all time. It's got a little hat on top. It's got the orange layer. The top of it's like a foam kind of plastic, but then the bottom is still a regular cork. Everyone should strive to make a cork as good as this. Just gonna pour a little bit of this guy. Maybe a little more. Alright. So as I mentioned, this one I know already is going to be very oaky. Weird thing, it only is sold in a liter bottle, which isn't bad because I haven't seen it in actually about a year. But when it was on shelves, I was able to find it for about $99, $120 on the high end. There's still one place around here, I'm in Southern California, where I can find it, and they want like $230 for it, which, no, do not pay $230 for this bottle. At that 120, 160 max, it's really cool. If you're a collector, it's a collector's item. It's a fun way to show people, like, hey, Jack Daniels isn't just what you drank in college with Coke. It's a totally different take on it. So if you can find it for the sub 200s, closer to the sub 200s range, I think it's a very good pickup and a very fun bottle. Especially if you're a Frank Sinatra fan. Just so much more flavor. This is a sipper. You could drink this as a sipper, no problem. It is just lovely. It has what I call that like Tennessee sting. You definitely get it whenever you drink like a Jack and Coke. It's kind of how that charcoal mellowing process really changes how the ethanol of the alcohol hits your tongue. It's kind of a vibrant kind of sting. It's not so much an overpowering ethanol taste to you or a burn. At least that's what I find with the charcoal mellow process. It takes what I normally find as a burn with ethanol and makes it more of a sting. Very scientific wording, I know, but that's just what I find with it. I know oak is a very divisive taste in bourbon, so if that's not your style at all, you're gonna hate it, but I really enjoy that deep, rich oakiness, and I get that here, and I'm a huge fan of it. And now we're moving into triple-digit proof with the bottled in bond. So it actually has on here the definition of bottled in bond: distilled by a single distiller during a single season and matured in a government-bonded warehouse for at least 4 years and bottled at 100 proof. Oh, just a little bit. Find as you climb the ladder to that much higher proof, you get just that little more punch of flavor. Sure, you definitely get more of that. Not the burn. Not burn with Jack Daniels for me. The sting. You get that sting of ethanol. But banana bread all the way through. That is 100 proof of just banana bread and baking spices with the charcoaly oakness that you kind of get on the regular Jack Daniels. And you can sip this. I would definitely take the Sinatra over the bottled in bond for flavor-wise. I like the oakiness that this delivers. But 100%, you can sip the bottled in bond. No complaints at all. Finally, we have the big guy. And by big, I mean high proof. 127 proof Jack Daniels single barrel. And on the back, it even lets you know that our barrel-proof Jack Daniels single barrel is made for those who appreciate a pure taste experience. The bottle design is pretty. Oh, that's too much. This was, in my head, this was a great idea for a video. I thought it'd be fun. As I'm doing this, was a really bad idea. This was way more whiskey in a short period of time. than I should do. As you can see, I'm probably getting a little more loopy, smiley, and goofy. Huh. But definitely not a bad tasting roundup. I'm not mad at anything I drank today. I've actually never had the Barrel Select Jack Daniels, just the regular one, not the barrel proof. But that would be 90 proof, so it would be the same proof as the Sinatra Select. After this, we've completed the gauntlet. We have tried Jack Daniels from 80 proof to 127 proof. It is one of those, you read reviews on it, people go crazy for it. And if you can pick it up for the right price, I would highly recommend it. I see more similarities from the Sinatra Select to this than I do from the 100 proof bottled in bond to this. That completes the Jack Daniels gauntlet that I did just for my own enjoyment, I suppose. I absolutely love doing this, of working my way from the lowest proof to the highest proof. My initial plan was to go from the highest then back down, but for my own health and safety, I'm not going to be doing that. Jack Daniels is just a really cool brand that I don't think gets enough respect. From creating the classic old number 7 to the Gentleman Jack that's a little bit more refined, that you can sip on and just enjoy, to this middle section here that's experimental and heritage and doing some really cool stuff, to the big bad boy, the Barrel Select Barrel Proof at 127, that is just lovely and really shows off what Jack Daniels is. It was really cool to do this. I've never drank a distiller's kind of lineup or a portion of their lineup all in one sitting. I appreciate you drinking with me tonight. That was just water. Water is the only thing I'm going to have for the rest of the night.